So good morning, everyone. I'm going to start the day talking about Badland and how we as a two-man company managed to create this game which eventually became the App Store Game of the Year last year. So first, of course, we needed a company, so we started a company, Frogmind, in April 2012. We were two founders, so I worked as a programmer and Johannes Vuorinen was the artist. And we were colleagues from Red Lynx and Universamo. Universamo is no longer here, but it was a Finnish company, Finnish mobile company. So we knew each other for a couple of years in those times. So we started Frogmind, and our goal was to basically develop the coolest touch-based games targeting ourselves. So we wanted to create a game, perfect game for ourselves. That was the thing. And how? Well, we wanted to stay 100% independent and do not hire anyone, just be the two of us. And we didn't want any publishers or investors, so we basically wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Just do this game by two of us. And we wanted to focus 100% on the game experience and not that much on the business model, so we chose the paid model because of that. And that was, of course, the easiest model for that purpose. So we didn't have any previous experience on running a game studio, so this was the first thing for us. We didn't have any press contacts. We were just coders and artists in our previous companies. We didn't have any platform contacts, so we didn't know any from Apple or Google or from anywhere. And we didn't have any marketing experience. But what we did have was actual real game development experience for about 5 years, both of us. Of course, lots of indie spirit, and we got lots of tips from fellow Finnish indie developers. For example, from Mountain Sheep and Cornfrogs and Brothers and all these awesome Finnish game developers here in Finland. And we had this strong belief that if we create an excellent game, it will sell well enough for us as a two-man company without any marketing budget. So, but we still knew that we need to do some marketing. So I'm actually going to give some tips about this during this talk. So how we did this kind of indie or do-it-yourself marketing. So in June 2012, we announced Frogmind and our first upcoming game. So this was about 10 months before the launch. So we basically posted this page in our website, frogmindgames.com. And we just told that, hey, we are two industry veterans with 5 years experience. And we have made these games, Trials, Evolution, and Moto Heroes. And we wanted to go indie, and we went indie. And our first game will be announced soon. So even with this, we got like actual first press contacts and first articles. So even though we didn't have any game to show, so for example, an interview with Gamasutra and even Pocket Gamer made this article. So it was a good start. So my first tip: background stories are interesting. So even if you don't have any game to show yet, just think about if you have an interesting story. Like press can pick those, even if you don't have any game to show. So then July came, and we announced Badland. So this was the front page of badlandgame.com back in July. So we had this one beautiful picture, and we said that it's an action-adventure game coming to iOS. And we started our development blog. So, well, we didn't have too much to show, so it was mostly text-based blog posts, so something about gaming experience and Badland's visual inspirations and so on. So and we got a couple of, well, a few hundred followers already at that point for the game. And so my second tip is that, well, announce and start writing and teasing about your game early and be open. So especially this is important for paid games, as you need to have that huge amount of followers already before you launch, so that at least those guys will will buy the game immediately when you're launched. So this is really important, and also you get early feedback to your game, so maybe you can even change something before you launch. So then we started to post screenshots, but we didn't get, for example, toucharcade.com right about the game, so we needed to do something. So we created this video. I'm gonna show it. So this was in October 2012, about 7 months before the launch. So we used a camera to record this to show that players really showed that it's running on actual iPad. And these sounds are all faked, so they weren't in the game. So our audio guy, Jonas Turner, made the audio in post-process. So it looks like almost like the final game, actually. And actually this level is in the almost identically in the final game as well. So in this video, we almost like added every possible feature we had at that time to the level, and really wanted to show everything to get the best possible feeling of the final game. Yeah, well, it goes for 1 minute, but yeah, this proved to be pretty successful. So now we got those touch arcades and Destructoids and Edge, for example, writing about the game. So that was really successful. And what's the great thing about this is that once these sites start to write about the game, they tend to continue to do so until the game is launched, and then they will even review it. So this was great news. But what was maybe even more greater, it was that we got an email from Apple the following night. So we got an actual Apple contact with, I guess, with this video. I guess they are reading Touch Arcade and all those sites. So I guess they picked the game from those sites, and they said to us that, hey, this looks cool, and we're interested in when are you going to launch the game. So that was great news, because we knew, for example, from Mountain Sheep and the Corn Fox guys, that Apple Contact is really important to get that featuring once you launch. So we were super excited at that point. So third tip: publish a video, gameplay video, as soon as you have something cool to show. And I suggest that you record it with a camera, because that way you can really show how the game is played, and that it's not faked, although we had the sounds faked, but like the gameplay was real. So and that's really cool way to get good feedback. So we got, well, lots of positive feedback, but also some negative as well. So it was really useful. And maybe if you do this kind of video early on and see that, like, hey, no one's interested, maybe it's then time to think about the whole project. So I think this is a good way to get that early feedback before the launch. So then we started to submit the game to probably every possible competition there was. So this is the site called promoterapp.com. There's this cool calendar which shows every upcoming competition there is. So for example, this very big indie pitch that is happening here, or happened yesterday. So we started submitting Badland to every one of these competitions, and we ended up actually winning one in November 2012 in Game Connection Europe in Paris. And of course this was huge for us. It validated the game even more to us. And of course we were super excited, and now we started to talk about the game as an award-winning game, which was awesome. So my fourth indie tips: submit your game to every competition. it doesn't take too much time, and well, you can get lots of good exposure if you happen to win or happen to well, happen to succeed there. Okay. Then December came and Christmas and New Year's Eve, but we knew that we don't have the game yet in ready enough stage, so we knew that the game will be available somewhere next year or 2013. So we were silent during December, but in January we posted this new video where we showed this new feature, which was the local multiplayer mode for Badland. We had this feature already back in autumn, but we didn't want to talk about it yet because we wanted to have something new to show more nearer to the actual launch date. So with this video, we got these same sites right about the game again, so we were back in their radar, although the year has changed. So my fifth tip, keep showing new stuff regularly before the launch. Do not play all your cards once. So I think this is also important to get like multiple of those news pieces from these different websites and so on. So do not play all your cards once. Okay, then February we showed some new screenshots. In March we posted yet another gameplay trailer, and this time we showed this new background or this new scene in the game, Dusk section, and we also announced the release date that was going to be the April 4th. But before I go to the actual launch date, I'm like going to give the most obvious tip that like if you don't have this, like nothing makes sense. So yeah, you need to have a really cool and unique game. This is like, well, the most obvious thing to stand out from the crowd. So on purpose for Badland, we wanted it to stand out from the crowd because with the visuals and with some choices we made to the design, that it's not like yet another Angry Birds type of game or some other like casual game. So we on purpose wanted it to stand out from the crowd that way. And I think that trust your vision thing is also important, because although you get lots of feedback from users, I think it's important to not just get all that feedback and change your game, because I guess that way the game can end up being some kind of like average of all that feedback and not anymore any kind of cool game. Okay, so then April 4th, Badland was launched, and then we immediately got the editor's choice globally, which was super awesome. So that meant for us about 100,000 copies sold for the first week, and since it was a paid game for $4, it meant that we were positive revenue immediately. So it was great news, and we knew that okay, now we can continue in this project and make updates and so on. So this was an awesome day for us. And after this, we have got plenty of new featuring, such as the Apple Design Award, and we were part of this 5 years of App Store promotion in July, where Badland was free, and we actually got 7 million downloads during that week. And finally, in December, we got the iPad Game of the Year, which meant really nice sales for the Christmas times. So where Badland is now, so we have ported the game basically now everywhere on mobile. So App Store, Amazon App Store, Google Play, Windows Phone, BlackBerry World, and Samsung apps. So we are with the same paid model almost everywhere, but except Google Play and Amazon App Store. And on Google Play, we actually have ads, so you can actually play the game for free with ads. So some numbers are always interesting. So 9 million downloads on iOS. Well, most of them are free downloads because of that promotion week. about 7 or 8 million downloads actually at the moment on Google Play. And our revenue from last year, 9 months, was $1.5 million. So that you get the picture what kind of numbers these successful paid games can give you. So total downloads, well, App Store and Google Play are pretty dominating. Windows Phone is not yet here, but it would be like in the same range at the moment. It was just launched 2 weeks ago. Median downloads per day, well, Google Play is dominating this one because it's free there. So it's receiving about 20,000 downloads per day, while App Store is about 1,000 downloads per day. Total revenue, App Store is winning. Basically, it was launched already back in April there, and Google Play was launched last December. So in average revenue per day, actually Google Play is performing better, but still App Store is winning. So our future, we want to focus on Badland. We want to create new games in that universe. We have already a new game coming or in the works. And we have expanded from 2 to 7, so huge growth. And it's awesome because we can now do more things at once. And we are still looking for new talents to join us. Okay, thank you. I guess we don't have any time for questions, but I will be hanging here, so feel free to ask me anything. Thank you.